Not that much, but just a little bit. And and I to you. I lingered in the darkness, summoning some ancient gods to bring me back to life. Okay, I actually have to figure out what? Excuse me? It's actually okay. 안녕. 사오 누나. Woo! I should change my name to that. Can you imagine? I just honestly want to know if like he ever sees it, what would he think? I became Soho Nuna. Hi, hello. Yeah. Anyway, I was going to say it's Orange Shirt Day, as you can see. But it's actually, it's a thing in Canada and not in the US. But we take it from the US. Or from Canada. There's not a color you don't slay in. Okay, I was talking about this yesterday. Remember how I was saying that there are certain like tones of like colors that I look the best in? So when I started talking, I was like, I think I look good in reds. Maybe not dark reds. Well, I don't know. I do think I look a little bit better in like a brighter red anyways. But then I was like, I also look good in oranges. And this was the orange I was thinking about because it's the only orange shirt that I have. And it's like the only like basis of orange clothing that I can go off of because it's the only orange I've ever worn. Now a neon orange, I don't know. I don't know if I would look good in a neon orange. But this kind of orange, that's what I mean by like pastels. I think I look good in pastels. I call Cappy would rock gray. It would have to be like a light gray. It's a very specific kind of gray. Methinks. I don't know if this counts. Also, I'm gonna plug my video. When I did my music video reaction to X by One Us, I wore this like two-tone shirt. It was like light gray on the bottom and like on the sleeves, and then the top part was white. So I'm thinking of like that gray. Like I don't think that looked bad, but also it was white on the top, so like I don't know. Hi Marlene. 안녕 자기야. 자기야. 잘 지냈어? 오늘 단 거 먹었어? 너무 많이 먹지 마. 아, 넌 이미 달콤하잖아. 달콤하잖아? 감사. 어, 오늘 먹었어요. 네, 먹어. Oh, Jesus. I was like, what did I do? Anyways, today is Orange Shirt Day. All right, as you can see. Now, if you don't know what Orange Shirt Day is, let me fill you in because I would love to fill you in. It's an observed day in Canada. It's not an observed day in the US, but it should be. Because it's, a whole North American thing anyways. It's, well, okay. I had to pull it up just so I knew how to say it, but it's Orange Shirt Day, but it's also the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation. And it basically just honors all of the boarding school survivors and the victims, like from the native tribes and whatnot. And the orange color, the orange shirt, is supposed to kind of be in memory of those who went through boarding schools and who were fortunate to, we call them survivors because that's what it is, fortunate to survive them, but also those who were not able to. So on this day, we wear orange to respect and honor all of those people. What do you want to do right now? Honestly, I don't know. Oh, I have to also give you my movie review because so after streaming yesterday, I went and watched Jawbreaker. And I have thoughts and opinions. So I have to tell you that too. I'll watch next live. I'm playing Fortnite. I have work tomorrow. Okay, well, thanks for stopping by. Um, also, do I want to do that today? I could be in a spicy mood. I feel like I'm a little bit in a spicy mood. I don't know why. Um, because but today it was like every single thing was just kind of like irking me. Like I was having kind of an irritable day at work. Like it was pretty good, but I think everything was just ticking me off. So like I could be in a spicy mood and we could talk about spicy things. I've heard about it. I remember seeing something about the 60s scoop in Canada. Yeah, so I actually learned what the 60s scoop was back in May because I don't know anything about like Canada's indigenous people's history or anything. And when I went to Canada in May, the hotel I was staying at, now I didn't know this, but they were having like a conference or like kind of like a gathering of those who were in the 60s scoop. And can you imagine? That's insane. Like the 60s were not that long ago, but like there's people that were a part of it. Um but the 60s scoop in Canada was like during the 60s, obviously. I don't remember, the Canadian government or something like that, they went on to, or they go into like reserves, which are like Canada's reservations, or like indigenous communities, like where there's a lot of native kids, and they went and just picked them all up. All right, the scoop, they scooped them up and then threw them into boarding schools. So that's what the 60s scoop was. Well, I don't know if it was boarding schools, but they were like, it was to kind of displace them from their home. The governments are whack, I'll tell you that. The last boarding school closed in the 90s. Probably. Probably. It also, it's like really iffy too though. Um because like sometimes they can be, like they could be classified as boarding schools because they house like native people, like native kids or whatever. Um but it's, I don't know, it's like some like thin line. Cuz instead of calling it a boarding school, now they call it a how should we say? Cuz there's like 3 or 4 that are currently like still exist, and like some kids do still go to these schools, but it's not like the way that we imagine boarding schools in the back in the day. It's more so that a lot of kids that go to these like schools that have dorms and stuff, it's because they're trying to get away from like their family situations or their living situations, or like their family can't provide a proper environment for them to successfully go through school. So they send their kids to these schools. There's like one in California. Um, there's one in my state that I know of that still operates like a dormitory and all this stuff. There's another one somewhere, but they kind of like ship them off and they'll go school over there. But it's more just like it's a school, just in a different location. 오늘은 우리나라의 국경이 중 하나라서 학교나 대학에서 행사에 참석 잠 참석해야 해서 같이 갈 수 없어요. 그래. I heard about it from this drag queen I follow. She's a trans indigenous queen. She talked about her experience being a 60s scoop kid. Oh, like her parents. Yeah, it's actually really crazy because this generation, like my generation of native people, um my generation especially, is that like our grandparents and great grandparents were part of the boarding school era. So like for me, my grandma, the one that I live with, she went to a boarding school, and she actually graduated from boarding school. I don't remember if she like started elementary there, but she graduated from a boarding school and spent like a lot of years at the boarding school. And she, how should I say it? She has kind of like a very The only way I can describe it is that one time the institution, because the institution she went to is no longer a boarding school, it operates as like a just a regular school, but it used to be a boarding school, and they're trying to they have a truth and reconciliation department, and they asked her to come back and like share her experience so that they can like, you know, have it on record and stuff. um and it was kind of strange because she never talks about her like experience during that time. And um they asked her to come in, and she was like, okay, like, well, at first she didn't want to. She was like, no, like, I don't want to talk about it, like, I just don't, you know, please just stop contacting me, whatever. And they must have like finally got through to her, and she was like, okay. She's like, well, I'll go in and I'll have a conversation with whoever. She's like, but I don't want anyone else there, like not even my grandpa, which is insane because they go everywhere together. They're like a unit, right? And it was just so crazy to think that the only way she would share her experience is if nobody else heard it other than the person she was talking to. And it really just made me feel bad because I was like, wow, like she never talks about her time, like, you know, during that period, understandably. But that like the only time she would want to talk about it is if nobody else can hear it. So I was like, man, like she definitely has good times. She talks about all the good experiences, but never the bad parts. So the queen's name is Jane. You know what? When I went to that club night in Phoenix, there was a drag queen there, and she was also indigenous. And I wanted to say hi so bad, but then she like left really early because she said she had to get to a pageant or something the next day. And I was like, man, I could have found, well, not a cousin because I'm not really related to the people down there. Well, I don't want to say related. It's not that I'm related. It's more so like in my makeup of indigenous cultures, I'm like, no, I'm nothing southwestern. So it wouldn't be the cousin, it would be like the neighbor, you know? Like they live across the road. I'm like, hey, what's up? But like we're not cousins. It's just we're indigenous together. Whatever. Anyway, I wanted to say hi, but I just didn't. Yeah. Yeah, anyways. So that's Orange Shirt Day. I don't know. Again, it's a day in Canada. Like we don't have one in the US. So I love your earrings. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh my god. These earrings are, I like these earrings. I wear them a lot. Let me change the title so we can get people engaged. All right. I'm feeling a little spicy today, so we're gonna be a little spicy. It's also because I kind of want to continue the conversation we were having yesterday. Do I remember what it was? Not really. I'm trying not to yawn. I was listening to you speak and I kept staring at your earrings. They're so stunning. Really? Oh, you know what though? Every time I wear these, that's what everyone says. Like they always stand out. But I think they just add so much like compliment to any kind of outfit and hairstyle I wear. I think I wore these to, dare I say I wore these to the Nashville concert for One Us. Let me look. I can look because my photo, hold on. Don't do this to me. Oh, what happened? Oh, it's right here. All right, let me go find it. Hold, pause, hold. I know you miss me. I'm crazy now. Ah. Hey, I see you're streaming again tonight. Love the earrings. Oh my god, thanks. Everyone say that. Okay, well, I'm trying to see if I wore them for Nashville because I think I might have completely lied, but I don't think so. I don't think I did. I thought I downloaded the photo. Huh? Oh my god. Okay, well, I swear I downloaded it on this computer. I think they like removed access from the drive too. I'm like so sure they did. Oh wait, no, it's right here, look. Wait, that's crazy because they said they were gonna remove access to the drive. So this is a little strange. Hi. Oh look, I'm right here. What a goofy photo. You're telling me out of like the 3 photos they took, that was the best one. Alright. I'm trying not to yawn. I'm trying not to yawn. Bruh. Bruh. You're one of the most genuine streamers I've encountered in a while. What? Really? We enjoy you chatting. Oh, thanks, because I love to yap. It's like my favorite thing. Okay. Oh, I did. Look, you get. Oh. I don't want to show you this photo. They like whitewashed me so bad. Okay. Let me show you. All right. We're just going to get this like crazy, insane close up of my face. But if I can do it without messing this up. All right. See, I wore the earrings for my photo. But see, like they whitewashed me. And you know what? It's because they had to whitewash all of One Us. I hate them so bad. They like, just because you want to take the, what is it called? Melanin? You want to take the melanin out of One Us does not mean you need to take it from me. Okay, I respect my dark skin. Ah! No, it's not that bad. I'm sorry. My bad. I know you miss me. I'm still not over it. They hate us. I'm saying, like, I understand. It's just, I mean, there's really no way around it because, like, again, they had to edit One Us. Because that's why they took like 2 or 3 photos every time, right? Every group photo. And they picked the one that was like the best. And so I get it that they want the one where One Us looks the best because everyone's gonna post those online, and so they want the idols to look good. They don't care about if we look good. Who cares? It's like they want their idols to look good. I'm surprised they also edited them, but also am I surprised too? Because like that makes a lot of sense. They would edit them to make them look how they want them to look, but that's also a lot of work, so like respect. You still look beautiful though. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay, I actually I have like a story time. Like I said, I can be spicy today. Maybe I want to be spicy. Yeah, I'm surprised they just took that much time to edit all of the photos, to go through and pick the best ones and then to edit them. So I do understand that they like fix the exposure and the brightness and all this stuff. I hate that like I just happen to be a victim of that. Okay? As somebody who, you know, has slightly darker skin, is not pale, they like all those effects just whitewash me so bad, and I don't like seeing myself like that. I look like a ghost. I don't look like that, excuse me. So, but like it's fine. It's fine. Jesus loves you. Started to say that. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Respect. Messy vibe tonight. I mean, yeah. Well, okay, I was actually, it's so crazy because I was just thinking about this in general today. Um, like I said, I don't know why, just everything seemed to just set me off today. Like everything. Um, it was just making me more irritated than usual. And sorry. Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I'm just tired, that's all. Um anyway, I can't tell you why, but like randomly, this is an issue I've been having anyways for the last like month and a half. But every so often I will just think about the well, maybe it wasn't random. Like the One Us tour from this past year and how even though I was trying my best to have just like the time of my life because it's One Us and I love One Us, um, that like behind the scenes I was dealing with just a lot of things. And I'm so grateful that I really just appreciate one like love and appreciate One Us so much because that was the only thing that was kind of making that trip like I don't want to say worthwhile, but just not as bad as it was. Kind of like, you know, how everything was going behind the scenes. And today it just again just it really really set me off for some reason. I started thinking about like leading up to the One Us trip. Um I mean, I've talked about this a few times, but it's just because it's something that like just hurt my feelings so much. Um it's just going to take me a while to get over it, okay? Um I keep trying to yawn, bro. Punch myself in the face. Okay. Anyways, I always think about how my pal just like entirely ditched me. Well, she didn't ditch me. It's not that she ditched me. Okay, it was that she just again kind of. I hate saying ghosted the trip. I always say like bailed on the trip without saying anything, and even though it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, it kind of just was to me because I hate lack of communication in that aspect. Like, you know, I would have loved to just know, like, just be given like a yes or no. Um, but every time I see anything related to like this year's One Us tour, that's all I can think of. Even though like I did have a good time, um, you know, I had fun and all this stuff. It was just as I was like going through the whole trip, it was one thing that was just weighing on my mind that whole time. Because then I started to feel bad because I felt like I ditched her, like I had just left her behind because she didn't say anything. And I was like, what if she wanted to go and like I just didn't know? And then now here I am just like going without her because she didn't say anything. And so it was like this feeling of like guilt that was just kind of, it was like sitting with me, but it was also this feeling of like betrayal because she had like kept talking for weeks and weeks and weeks of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna get all my stuff, I'm gonna go. And then just didn't go, like didn't even say she was gonna go, just didn't go. Feeling of betrayal, but it was also just like, I was hurt and upset too because I was like, wow, like I couldn't even get like just a sentence of like, hey, I'm not gonna go. You know, like it's like I'm not even worth like a sentence. So I had all these things happening. And then to add on top of that, I had all this other stuff when we got to Nashville. Um, like I had all this other stuff happening like with my sister. She started like throwing a fit and just was kind of like making the experience so uncomfortable. And I was like, I hate the fact that I'm dealing with all of this when I'm trying to see my favorite group in the entire world. Like if I knew all this was going to happen, I probably wouldn't like if I could go back to the beginning of June and like tell myself one thing, I'd be like, just go on the trip by yourself. Like, don't even ask anybody. Don't even tell anyone you're going. Like, just go by yourself and just enjoy what you can on your own so that I wouldn't have to deal with everything that I dealt with on that tour. Um, and so even though, again, I saw One Us and they're like my favorite group ever and I loved it, I really hate that, like, when I see, like, my vlogs or, like, my photos and all this stuff, it just reminds me of everything that was going on behind that. Like, when we got back to, like, the room and whatever. And it just I just don't like that, you know? It's understandable the uncertainty might make you feel like it was your fault that your pal didn't want to go or didn't feel comfortable telling you what was going on. See, it wasn't like I knew why she didn't want to go, but I think it was just like I felt upset at the fact that it seemed like she was afraid to tell me or that she didn't want to tell me, so she didn't. And I was like, you know, like all I could think of like was that like we've been friends for a long time. I felt like it should be okay. Like she should know she could say those things and that like it's not going to affect me or anything. It was like it affected me more that she didn't say anything and just kind of left me high and dry. So, that was sort of the whole thing. Girl, I get you. Like, me and my friend are playing Save 2, Drop 1, and she dropped Soho. Tell her I'm pulling up right now. No, it's okay. You can drop Soho so I can have him. Just kidding. Hello again. Hi. Hi, hello. Oh, the other thing, I wanted to mention this and I forgot why I was talking about it too. The other thing too is because I was dealing with all of these things behind the scenes, it was like making, even though I was doing my best, I was trying my best. But this is a lot. Like it's a lot of things to deal with too, especially when it's all happening at once. Even though I tried my best to go into these concerts and just kind of leave all that behind so I can enjoy these few hours, it when I was in Nashville especially Nashville because that's when like again, that's when my sister was like, you know, throwing a fit. I was still kind of mad about my pal not being there or whatever. Um and so I was like, I had to go down to the venue by myself, and then I had to go do all of my well, I was gonna do it by myself anyways, but it was just all the circumstances that I had to go down there. And so I went down by myself, and it just gave me so much time to like think about everything that was going on. And it's so sad looking back on it, but like I remember because we did the fan sign in the group photo first. And I was just so not in the mood. I was trying to get myself into the mood of like seeing One Us and was like, this is my favorite group. Like, you know, like I should be having fun. I was trying my best that entire time, but we went through the fan sign and I was not in the mood. I was not in the mood. And then the group photo, I was like kind of getting there, but I was still wasn't. And so I felt like I wasn't at a level that I wanted to be at in front of One Us. And I hated that. I was like, I hate that like all I can really do is like how should I say? Like as I was going through the fan, it's the first thing you go through is the fan sign. I remember being like, I wish I did not have to go through this fan sign. I was like, honestly, I wish I could have just skipped this fan sign and everything. Because like I was just so affected by everything else. It's like I just it makes me so sad. Like all my Nashville like memories and stuff are just they're so sad to me. Because I was trying my best to just have fun. At first. I should say at first, because this is also how I know that I just really, really love and appreciate One Us. Like, they're like my whole world, okay? My whole heart. Because even though through the fan sign and the group photo, I was having a hard time. Like, I was trying to, like, feel like I was having a good time, but, like, it wasn't working that well. So we get to sound check, and I remember I was like, God, I was like, sound check. I was like, oh, because I just wasn't in the mood, had no energy. And so I'm sitting there, and then like sound check happens, they come out, and I was like, oh, this is so fun, how exciting. But then, like, halfway through sound check, like, as it starts going, I remember, like, they start playing the songs, they're singing and they're performing and all this stuff. And I immediately, like, all of a sudden, it was like a switch. I was like, wait, it's like, this is One Us, though. I was like, this is One Us, and they're my favorite group, and they're singing my favorite songs. And I remember like everything that I had been like thinking about, all like the weight on my shoulders from that entire day and days prior and just kind of leading up to then. All of that weight just kind of came off my shoulders and I was like, you're right. I was like, I'm here for One Us. and I locked in. I started having fun in the sound check, and then the concert came around, and I was having the time of my life. Um, my sister like stopped throwing her fit 30 minutes before the concert started, so she showed up to the concert later. And I just was like, all this horrible stuff is happening, but at the end of the day, I was seeing One Us, my favorite group, you know? And I really did like that, like, even though I went into the concert and like all these like fan engagements and stuff in like not a good mood, that just like being there and just seeing One Us and stuff kind of just like helped all of that. I was like, wow, I really am just a big fan. I'm a big fan, and I just really, really like, I appreciated them in that moment for just being there. I was like, just being, just existing. I was like, thank you so much. A platonic relationship with a guy would work better at a concert. Would it though? I heard both sides of the story. I mean, yeah, that's so valid. I think, I feel like I'll be the only, I really think the only fault that I had, like when I went on the trip with my sister, was, I mean, I talked about this before though, that I failed to take into account what kind of, I wouldn't want to say traveler or whatever, but it's just like, I was so focused on things that I wanted to do and like, you know, kind of the limits that I knew for myself, and I failed to take that into account for her. And so I was just assuming she could keep up with everything I wanted to do and didn't even think about, you know, that she could be tired and exhausted and whatnot before, or, you know, quicker. But other than that, I don't know if like anything else would have been. Not to say I'm blaming or shifting the blame, but I do like just kind of looking at it like that's really like my only um that was the only like bad thing I can think of that I was doing. Um, so I don't know what she was saying, because it's probably I don't want to say it's not true. I just think like she exaggerates a lot of things. Respectfully, okay? Respectfully, she exaggerates a lot of things because she like throws all her emotions into it. So she like blends like how it made her feel and stuff into the facts to make it seem like it was this big grand thing. And it's like, well, no, if we just look at the scenario itself, it was like this, but it made you feel like this, so then of course it's going to make this feel like this, because I think that's sort of what was happening, you know. But I don't know, you got to remember, not everyone's an extrovert. I know, and I kind of like knew that, but at the same time, so I have this mindset, like I try my best, okay? When I go to places to travel and stuff, I try to use all of the time that I have to do stuff, because it's like, when am I ever going to be back here, right? So in Nashville, it's like I was like, I've always wanted to come to Nashville. We only have 2 days, well, a day. Um, and so I want to do a lot of things, and a fault of mine is that I just naturally assume that everyone would want to do that too. But some people, they get tired and then they want to rest. Like me, it's like I might burn myself out doing all kinds of things in the daytime, but like I still have more hours to do things and I have time to rest later. So, but it was how would I say? It was something I failed to consider in that moment. If I traveled with a person like you, I would not care what we did just as long as I was there with a person like you. Are you sure? I'm definitely like I move around a lot. Like I do a lot of things. Constantly busy, I think. Your sister broke your heart. Well, no, I don't think so. I think it was just I didn't like that she was um how should I say? It was more so like the circumstances. If we were seeing any other group, I don't think I would care. It was just that, like, this was a trip. Like, one, I was seeing One Us. Two, we were in Nashville. I've always wanted to visit Nashville. And so I was trying to, like, make the most of my time, but also have a fun time because I'm seeing my favorite group in the entire world. And I just didn't like that it was kind of, like, hindering my experience of, like, both of these things. Because Chicago was fine, but, like, we didn't look around Chicago because, like, we've been there before. So, like, our Chicago part was, like, fine, but it was just when we got to Nashville is when everything kind of fell apart. But see, now I'm eager to know what she said because I hope she's not saying crazy things about. Well, okay, that's also just another I don't know if I'd call it a pet peeve, but something I just really hate is when somebody tells, like, a situation, especially with me, and they tell their side of the story, but it's like super exaggerated. Even worse if it's like entirely like different or flipped. Um or just simply not true. And I have a really hard time just kind of letting people have their sides of the story. Like, I always feel like I need to defend my point, but I'm trying to learn that cuz like me, like, I try to accept um I don't want to call it my faults, but where like I've gone wrong, I always try to take accountability for those and then try to see if I can be better in those aspects. So like it's like I'm not gonna deny if I did something wrong. Um, but I also like just try to speak in facts. Like when I'm telling stories, I always try to tell them in the most objective way. Like I never really tell them unless it really hurt my feelings. Then I'll tell it from my emotional point of view. But I always try to tell it from like a factual point of view. I'll try to just lay out like exactly what happened and then let people kind of develop their own opinions from there. So because I'm that type of person, I just like I always wish that other people were like that too. But like not everyone tells stories that way, and so then I always feel wronged when like people hear like this version of me. And I'm like, well, that's just simply not true. Like that's just not true. Like that's such a like distorted and exaggerated version of like what happened and of me. And I don't like it. Hello, hi. I don't think a person as you would keep up with a person like me. Is that true? To your defense, though, being that I'm also a youngest sibling, we're just brats in general. Yeah, see, that's kind of why I don't really like. I know she probably talked about that whole situation, uh, but I also know that's kind of why I was explaining it earlier. That I think it's a lot of like the actual story, um, just um really tied into like how she was feeling emotionally too, like her emotional um like her feelings mixed with the story to make it seem like it was something way bigger when like the facts were uh the facts were probably like not that extreme. But I mean, with all love and respect, she's just kind of like that, I think. She's definitely she reacts emotionally to things first and then she'll go back and then see it logically, but it's got to be like a youngest sibling trait, right? I'm still working on my Lego set. Oh, period. Does your sister listen on your chats? I don't think so. The last time she was in one of my streams was like a year ago. I swear I'm listening. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You work on your Lego set. That's fine. I need to move this closer. She actually took accountability to and make it seem like you were the villain of the story. Okay, good, because I wasn't. I mean, to be fair, she wasn't either. I do think it was just the timing of it all. The timing just wasn't good. Like, the thing I didn't like was that, again, I'm trying to see a group that I like. Like, if the roles were reversed, I think she would hate it way more than I did. Like, imagine we were going to see 17, and then I start throwing a fit like that the day of the concert, and she has to go do all her concert activities on her own. I think she would hate it way more than I did. Even though I really hated it, it's like I really know how to kind of, it's not a good thing, but I know how to do it. I know how to like suppress a lot of my emotions to get things done. So that's kind of what I was doing, even though it was making me feel really, really bad. It's like, well, I still have all this stuff to do. Like, I'm here. I have to do this. So, like, I'm gonna do it regardless if it makes me feel bad. So, yeah. Yeah, anyway, it was just kind of a culmination of events. I think I was already like on edge from the fact that like my pal, everything that happened there, and then to add on top of it this whole thing now with the, being in Nashville. It's just by the end, I think I was like, I don't know. I'm trying to make, like, in my mind, I'm trying not to relate that experience too much to the fact that it was One Us, because if I do, then I'm going to just, like, automatically assume. Like, it's going to correlate like that in my brain. So it's going to be like One Us, and then I'm going to think about the last time I saw them and how all these things were going wrong. So I'm trying not to do that. But it's a little hard sometimes, okay? Okay. Anyways, that's enough yapping. Sorry, I yapped about it for a while. I only brought that up because I saw the photo, the Nashville photo, and I hate seeing this photo because, again, that's all I can think. Is like, I knew what was going through my head at that moment, and I just don't like knowing that there's a a capture of it, of like how everything was just going wrong. But at least I have a photo with One Us. So whatever. Yeah. Oh, it also related because I was thinking about it today, and it kind of just set me off today for some reason. Like, I thought about it, and then it just made me really mad. Anyways. Enough. I've been talking about that for oh my god. Enough of that. Okay, I have to, for those of you who were here yesterday. Okay, before I ended stream, I talked about how I was going to watch a movie, right? I was going to watch Jawbreaker, which honestly, I'm kind of glad that I rewatched it, because somebody asked what my favorite movie was, and for the longest time, I used to say it was Jawbreaker, but then I like never knew why, because I liked it when I was a kid, but I think out of all the movies I was seeing at that time, it was the only one that really, really stuck out to me. So I would tell people, that's my favorite movie, it's Jawbreaker. And I started just saying that, like, kind of as time went on. But then, like, I haven't seen it in such a long time, so someone asked me that, and I, like, said it again. I was like, oh, I think probably Jawbreaker or The Hunger Games. But then I thought about how, like, I was like, I haven't seen that movie in a while. I should rewatch it to see if that's still true. Is it still one of my favorite movies? And so I found it online yesterday, so I went and watched it after stream. And I'm here to give you my review. My review of watching Jawbreaker after, I don't know how long it's been since I've watched that movie, but it's been a while. Dare I say 10 years. That's crazy. Let me not yawn first. So, hold on, I have to, okay. So I watched Jawbreaker, and it's still as good as I remembered it. Like I liked the movie for a reason back then, and I still do kind of like it. Um, but the whole time I was watching it, it's like I have to think about like why I used to think this was my favorite movie, or like why I tell people this is my favorite movie. Um, and I mentioned yesterday how I think I really liked the kind of just the era it was set in. Like it's set in like the late 90s, and I'll be honest, I don't know if I'd want to exist in that time period, but it's just nice to watch. Okay. It's nice to see how things operated at that point in time. Um and so I remember like watching it last night. I was like, yeah, I still really do like that kind of like that era, the styling, kind of just how things were and whatnot. Um but by the end of the movie, I think I realized I just really like the main character. The main character, her name is Courtney in the movie, and it's supposed to be, who's the star in that movie? Well, Judy Greer is in it. The girl who played Courtney, I think her name is Rebecca. I just looked it up. Rebecca something, and then the other main girl was played by Rose McGowan. They're like, this was a long time ago, so like they're old now, but um it actually, so I want you to think of like Mean Girls, but just set in the 90s. That's pretty much what this movie is, okay? Now, there's a lot more to that. I don't know if you want me to talk about the plot, I can. But if you want to go watch it, you can. But I really do like the plot. One thing I kind of realized, but also I think it made sense too. It's probably just me, because I watch a lot of K-dramas, and I like to watch a lot of like long series shows, and like how every episode is like an hour or so. And so this movie is only an hour and a half long, and it felt like it was really short. Like it felt like everything was just moving super fast. But like looking at the plot, it's like that makes sense. You don't really need a long movie to explain this plot. It's kind of just like it's like a casual movie kind of. Um so that was like the first thing I noticed was how short it was. But like ultimately it was just that I really just I was I don't want to say I'm a fan. I don't want to say inspired by. I admire the main character, Courtney. Now she's not a good person, okay? She's got a lot of crazy like morals and values. But I think I just like how charming she is in that movie. And if there was any kind of like personality that I think I wish I had, it would be hers. So, like as I was watching the movie, I was like, I think it's just because of her. Like I'm a big fan of I can't say her character, because if you ever watch this movie, like it's gonna be goofy if I say that. Not her character, but just her person, not her personality. It's the way that she kind of presents herself to other people, like how other people see her. Um, but it's in such like a charismatic way. Like she's like so cool. And I think that's probably the whole reason why I liked this movie. She's just super cool, that's all. So, anyway, that was my movie review. I will probably say it's one of my favorite movies because she's just super cool. Um, but if I had to do another favorite movie, I'd probably just say The Hunger Games, because I like The Hunger Games for the plot in the movie. I think the book is just really, really in depth. I have to reread it. I do want to reread it. I actually really want to read. I tried to read it, and I keep giving up because I'm a lazy reader. I really want to read the, what is it called? The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And then I want to read the new one, which is Sunrise on the Reaping. So I wanted to read the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes before the movie came out, but I didn't get to. But I've seen the movie like 2 or 3 times already. And I still haven't read the book. I'm the worst. Do you like Emma Watson movies? You know what? Okay, actually, kind of, yeah. I haven't seen enough of her movies. I've only seen the Harry Potter series. And then recently I watched okay, I don't know if it's called Beauty and the Beast. Like the um real life adaptation. Is that what you call it? Where they're real actors? I recently seen that. And I think seeing her in that, I was like, I think she's a really good actress. Cause she embodied Belle so well. I was like, man, I'm so surprised. Because, it just kind of really proved that she's like a good actress. If she can really just feel like that, like she's the character. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was cute. I was also thinking about something I try to do with like older movies, especially like the princess movies and stuff, is think about like the theme, the underlying theme. It got windy all of a sudden. Um, and so I was thinking about like the romance between Belle and the Beast. Because it's kind of funny. Like when you look at like the love stories, like they're cute, but then you also think about like we think about them as real people, right? Um like you got to think about like traits that they have that they were attracted to. Like Belle, like what kind of traits did the Beast have that she was like, "Oh my god, I'm so attracted to that." Cuz like he was very standoffish, very mean, like very just uninviting. And she was like, well, I mean, I guess at first she was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." But then after a while she like was like, "I don't think you're really like that. Like I think there's something, she saw that it was kind of just like a mask. But like what made her decide to like pursue, like what made her think that was like I could try to decode this? Because if I was in that situation and I saw somebody who was like the Beast and he was like kind of acting like that towards me, I would just be like, okay, sorry, brother, and like never really like, you know, it would just be done right there. I wouldn't try. Maybe I'm just my lazy girl. I just like transparency. I think out of all of the Disney princes, who was my favorite? Based on personality. Let me look. Disney princes. I haven't watched a lot of these movies in a long time, so like I can't remember how they act. Know that I probably wouldn't like the Beast. Well, just based on like the first impression, like he would be off-putting to me and I would accept that. I'd be like, okay, you're off-putting and I'm not gonna pursue you further. I like Aladdin. He's my number one. You know what? Aladdin is funny. I think he's a little too funny for, or not too funny, but like he's just a little too playful for me personally. Like if I was looking at it in terms of like ideal partners, Aladdin would not be serious enough for me. Like I like someone who's playful, but I like someone who's like serious too. Like it's like a perfect balance of both. Like can be serious uh when you need to be and when is appropriate, but is also, is that true? Because when I think about it, I think I like someone who's just a little more playful than they are serious, but like I don't like somebody who's too playful, and I don't like someone who's too serious. Like I need a good balance. Do you know? No, I don't. The prince is Snow White's love interest. I don't remember that guy though. Tom Cruise movies? I've only seen like one or two. Maybe more and I just don't remember. It's perfect balance, playful. Is that true? Or are you just saying that because I said that? Prince Charming is a love interest of Cinderella. I think he doesn't have enough depth. I think I don't know. Will I start? No, I won't. Um. Oh. Okay. Well, his name is Henry, it says. Prince Henry is Cinderella's love interest. I don't remember enough about him to have a good opinion on him. Prince Philip is Princess Aurora's love interest. Oh. Oh, so they were already married. Okay. You're Korean? No. Prince Eric. Eric's not really my favorite. I guess looks wise he would be my favorite, but like personality. I don't know. I don't remember it. I should do like personalities. Disney princes personality. See if it one defining characteristic about each Disney prince. All right, here we go. God, I want like a sentence. No, I want like a. Okay, maybe I should go for a more detailed. A definitive rating of Disney princes. The prince. Okay. Okay, he has no depth. The Cinderella, Snow White. The Snow White prince has no depth, so we need to move on. Okay. Who's this? Cinderella. Oh, he's the worst. It says he's okay, so this is Cinderella. His name is Prince Charming, but they said his name is what? Henry? He's conventionally handsome and charming. He only gets dinged a few points because he's not the sharpest man in the kingdom. And then it says you really couldn't tell that Cinderella was the same girl because she didn't have her makeup on. That would be a little sad. I think I would be really sad. But then it also would make me look at like myself, like self-reflection. Am I wearing too much makeup to the point where I look different without makeup on? You know? It would be a self-reflection moment for sure. Prince Philip is one of the last Disney princes to not have any real personality. Okay, so how about we move on? Let's just not even talk about those guys. Okay, Eric. Eric, I'm trying not to yawn. Okay, Eric is Ariel's love interest. Okay, this is what I thought too, because I read this on the other one. Is like, I think it's goofy and crazy how... Okay, to be fair, I haven't seen The Little Mermaid in a long time. Sorry, I'm just a little tired. I always think about how he was able to be fooled by Ursula being a different girl with Ariel's voice. And like he like almost like just married her, you know, and just completely ditched Ariel. It's like, I don't know if that doesn't scream loyal, you know, disloyal to anyone else. But that it's kind of like, even though he's cute, it's not giving, you know. Oh, Beast. Oh, okay, well, I want personalities. Dang it. Okay. These are not good. I was trying to... We're not even going to talk about John. We're not even going to talk about Pocahontas. That's goofy. That doesn't count. I want like, okay, like this isn't working. Let me just look at their personality types and go from there. Bruh. Bruh. Okay. I do not mean to end the stream, so I'm not gonna end it right now, but like I think I'll be live for 15 more minutes and then I will call it for the night because apparently I'm tired. I was trying to do. Are you the same energy type? Wait. Wait, I'm gonna do my energy profiling. Wait, this is so slay. Okay, this is so slay. Did I ask for that? Okay, Jesus. Oh, that's bright. I always love to question the logic behind the movies, like The Little Mermaid. You told me you didn't recognize her face, but you remember by the voice. That's what I was just saying. I was like, how? Energy profiling. I need to go find that. Energy profiling. I couldn't even get in. Oh, it's right here. Discover your type. Oh, that's your facial features. What the heck? Okay. Oh, God. All right, team. You're going to have to help me with this because, like, this says I have to use... It says you can easily identify your own energy type and someone else's once you know what to look for in facial features. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying not to yawn. Okay. Oh. Ah, wait, I have to just pick it myself? I don't get it. I don't get it. Help. I'm really confused. Eh. And you tell me that in Cinderella, she's the only one with that shoe size? You see what I'm saying? They're a little, they're a little, what's the word? Ditzy? Okay. I guess I just have to, like, use these photos for reference. So there's 4 types, like, energy types. Jesus Christ, I can't stop yawning. It's kind of irking me. So there's 4 types. The first one is bright and animated. The second one is soft and subtle. They're type 2. Type 3 is rich and dynamic. And then type 4 is bold and stunning. Okay, I don't think I'm bold and stunning, I'll be honest. I don't think it's type 4. I have to be giving, probably not rich and dynamic. They're all wearing like the same thing and they kind of give the same. It's like, rich and dynamic is giving like loud. And I just feel like I'm not giving loud. Hi, hello. Dare I say it's bright and animated? That sucks. All right, let me see what they're saying. This is a long video. I don't want to watch it. Okay, how do I... Let me look it again. Look. Determine your type. Yes, please. Huh? I don't get this. It's not telling... All right, here. We'll just look at a photo. Let's just look at a photo. Energy types. Can I save open image in a new tab and then zoom in? Ah! Okay. All right, team. Here we go. So there's 4 energy types, they say. Okay. Type 1. So we're talking about primary movement. Oh. I hate to tell you. All right. Primary movements. Type 1 is upward, light, buoyant, and random. Type 2 is fluid, flowing, relaxed, and subtle. Type 3 is active, reactive, push forward, and swift. And type 4 is constant, reflective, and straightforward. You know what? Is anyone into astrology? Because I'm gonna be really honest with you. All of these types are giving modalities. Modalities? Elements. Not modalities. I said the wrong thing. They're giving elements. All right. So type 1, primary movement, is like upward, light, random. Natural gifts. They have their ideas. It says, I have a new idea and we can do it. Priority, happiness. Extrovert, introvert movement. It says they're light-hearted, extrovert energy. Described as fun-loving, bright, and optimistic. They're judged as flighty, hyperactive, and unreliable. Appreciates spontaneity, flexibility, something to look forward to. Frustrated, feeling stifled or heavy, life is too serious. Prone to taking on too much and dropping the ball. Afraid of being silly, immature, and need to be more serious. Body language, they walk with a bounce in their step and talk with their hands. That's me. I think I'm a type 1. I'll be really honest with you. I'm giving type 1. I love astrology. I am, but I'm not too knowledgeable. Okay, so all of these, they have like traits, right? Of like things that they go through. And each of these, I can relate it to astrology. So like, how should I say this? Everyone has like a dominant, well, they have a dominant sign in their chart. They'll have 1 dominant or 2 dominant signs. And kind of where like the most, whatever element shows up the most is the element that is like obviously the most dominant one. So we'll take me, for example, use me. So I have a lot of Aquarius placements in my chart, okay? Well, Aquarius, I'm a Libra rising. And that's it. I have 1 other Libra placement, and like the other ones are all Aquarius placements. So because I have so much Aquarius placements, that makes me an air dominant chart because Aquarius is an air sign. But like that shows, once you learn kind of the traits of an air sign, it's like you could probably see it in me. It's really funny. But they also say it relates a lot to your rising sign. Because your rising sign is how you appear to everyone else. Like that's like the first kind of how should I say? It's like your subconscious natural way of just expressing yourself to other people. Like how you come off to everyone is how your rising sign. So like me as a Libra rising, people probably see me as like or I come off like really like friendly, pretty cheerful. They do say charismatic, but like I don't think that's true. I don't feel very charismatic. I'm definitely like a friend of all. Well, not a friend of all, but like I get along pretty well with like everyone I come across. Libras are also known for being kind of just pretty in general. Like a lot of people you know with Libra placements are probably pretty. And what's another big trait? There's more. I always look into this because I'm a Libra rising. It's just they're the ones like if you're in a room, you'll probably be more like you're just gonna like naturally be attracted to the Libra risings because they're always kind of like I don't know. They just kind of balance things out, right? Um And so like if somebody was like, how should I say, what's another one I'm good at? A Capricorn rising, they're gonna seem very um what I can see it in my head. It's just trying to put it into words is so different. A Capricorn rising is they're gonna seem really hardworking. Like they're constantly like working or doing something. Um, they're very focused people, but they're also very hard headed. They're a little hard headed. And you can kind of see that. And that's just how they appear. Like a water sign. Who's a good water sign? A Cancer rising. They're gonna be a bit, I hate using like vague terms because like I don't want it to seem mean, but like a Cancer rising is they're very like empathetic. They always try to make sure that people are like doing okay, feeling okay. Um they'll kind of always just be like checking in on people. They also feel a lot themselves too. So, I'm a Pisces. Pisces sun? Like is your birthday in like March? February or March? Interesting. All I know is the whole month thing. I'm a Gemini. Oh, so your birthday is like in May or June. I think actually what you can do, like just in general, is if you type in your birthday and your birthplace, you can find out your sun sign, your moon sign, and you can find out like your Venus. You can find out like almost everything but your rising sign. And you won't know like houses or degrees or anything, but like you can find out the planet placements. Now, if you know what time you were born, you can find your rising sign, and that actually tells you a lot. I'm an Aries and a Libra rising. Twin! Wait, twin, I'm a Libra rising too. Wow. Twin! Wait, an Aries sun with a Libra rising is insane. I'm March 18th. Oh, so you're a Pisces sun. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the one thing I know about Pisces, because I'm a Pisces moon, and what that means. So I actually really like this there's like a specific way, like everyone like views astrology differently. The way I like to see it is like your sun sign. Um it's more so like kind of what drives you in life. Like that's like all these like underlying like things that you kind of just like find yourself doing. They say they call it your ego. I think it's just more like your life's purpose. Not life's purpose. How would I say? Kind of like you find yourself doing these things, right? Um So for example, I'm an Aquarius sun, so like I find myself trying like just naturally wanting to do a lot of like community based things. Like I like doing things for the whole collective instead of just one person. And like even when it comes to me, I don't do things selfishly. I do things for the benefit of like the entire group, and that's just an Aquarius thing. They're humanitarians, right? Um and so that's kind of like what your sun sign is. Your moon sign, this this is how I view it because it's like the only way it like works in my brain, is your moon sign is who you are when you're by yourself. And even cooler, your moon sign is actually how like people who are really close to you will see you. So instead of seeing you as your rising sign, like say you're like your family, your super close friends or romantic partner, whatever, they will see you more like your moon sign because that's who you are at your core. That's who you are when you're by yourself, when nobody's watching you. And because you're so comfortable with these people, you bring out that more like vulnerable side, that core self. And so like people close to you will see that version of you more than they'll see like your rising sign. Um, so your moon sign, and just think of it as like how you act when you're by yourself, which is really true because I'm a Pisces moon. And one stereotype Pisces placements have, but it's really true too, is they're very much daydreamers in every aspect. They love to live in different worlds in their head. Like they create, I think they're just really good at they could be really good at like storytelling and like writing and stuff. Um But how should I say? We're good at daydreaming and good at like escaping to different, again, it's all in our heads too. Like, you know, we're able to like just kind of live in different aspect. I don't know. It's a Pisces trait though. And it's really true because I do that. I'm a Libra moon. Oh, an Aries sun and a Libra moon. I'm so sorry. Hi, hello. I don't believe in any of the zodiac stuff or anything, but I always find it interesting when someone else explains the stories. It's really all just about how you interpret things. Because sometimes I hear like astrology stuff and I'm like, that makes no sense. But then I hear like other versions of it, like when it came to like the moon sign and I had somebody like, or somebody explained it that way. They were like, it's just who you are. Like, just imagine like how you act when you're in your room by yourself. Or like if you're home alone, like how do you act? Like how do you like, you know, think and like all this stuff? Like that's like your moon sign that's coming up. Which is true because I'm an emotional girl, okay? But I'm emotional like when the door's closed. Like I'm not emotional in front of everyone, but I do feel a lot of things, and that's because of my moon sign, right? Your rising sign again is how other people see you. So like you could be like, say you're a Pisces sun, but then say you're like a Sagittarius rising. Like people aren't going to see any of the Pisces traits. They're going to see the Sagittarius traits. And so they're going to think that you're like very outgoing. They're going to think you're spontaneous. They're going to think you're a little hot-headed because you're a fire rising, um but you know, like they'll see all of those before they see anything else. And that's what your rising sign is supposed to be. It's just like it's the front facing part. Anyways, all of that to say that um we all have dominant signs in our charts, and all of those signs are connected to an element. And so it's the earth, air, water, and fire. And they all have like these certain, you know, like personality traits and stuff, like just by being like a heavy like element sign. And so with this energy profiling, back to what I was talking about, all of these types, it's like I can kind of see, I could probably relate it to like a chart and think that somebody with like, okay, let's see, a type 1 is definitely air sign. All of these describe an air sign. Type 2, it's fluid, flowing, subtle, relaxed. What details we need to make a plan. Comfort, easygoing, introvert, gentle, tender, sensitive. So type 2 is giving water sign. Type 3 is giving fire sign. And then type 4 is giving earth sign. Yep. For sure. So I bet you I could tell you your energy type based off of your... What a nice kind of like correlation though. I think that would be really interesting. Earth, air, water, and fire. I don't know why I instantly thought of Avatar. You know what's crazy is as I was saying that, I was like, I know it sounds very Avatar-ish, but also EXO has a song called Love, Love, Love. And they say in that sequence, they say earth, air, water, fire. And so as soon as I said that, I was like, maybe that's why I said it in that order. What are your thoughts on life path numbers? I'm a 7. My life path number is, I think it's a 5. Let me double check. I could have just completely lied to you. No, I'm pretty sure it's a 5. I don't know enough about, like, I've read into them a few times, but like I haven't. All right, let me, my life path number is a 5, okay? People with a 5 life path number are on a lifelong adventure. They are ready for anything and want to soak up every experience this world has to offer. Oh. They tend to learn by living and don't allow themselves to get stuck in any situation that has outworn its interest. The moment things start to get humdrum, a person with this life path will move on to something more fascinating. Okay, let's move on. Routine is unbearable to people with a... Jesus. I didn't know I was going to get read like that today. It says typical 9-to-5 jobs are not appealing to them. Okay. Though they will change their career path many times throughout life, positions that allow them the freedom to make their own decisions will be the most satisfying. And whether on the job or off, making time for travel will be a key to feeling fulfilled for the... Oh, okay. Oh my god. I must not have looked into this in like such a long time because like... Okay. It says, meeting new people is no problem for a person with this life path number. They are very social creatures by nature and enjoy engaging with others. I'm yawning, sorry. Sorry. What is more difficult for these people is maintaining friendships and romantic relationships beyond the initial stages. They have a tendency to lose interest and bow out before there's a chance to make a deeper connection. Maybe we should just stop. Let's just stop here. Okay, this is a little much. Okay. When they're in a relationship, people with life path number 5 make exciting partners who want to show and share everything with their companion. However, their fickle and flighty nature makes it tough to ever really get close. Bruh, or there's one more paragraph, hold on. If there's one thing a life path 5 person's life will never be, it's boring. To them, life is about experimenting and engaging and learning and enjoying, and they can't wait to take it all in each and every day. Anyone with the life path 5 doesn't always know exactly where they're going, but they're guaranteed an epic journey. Wow, so it's really all in my life path. What's mine? Okay, here, I'll type it in. March 18th. Okay. You are a life path number 8. I'll read you the first paragraph so then you can look up the rest. Life path number 8 personality is one of hard work and hard lessons. People born with this life path number get their worth from accomplishing great things. The bigger the goal, the more satisfying it feels when they achieve it. Money and material goods are important to them because they are rewards and reminders of all the effort they put in. People with this life path direct all their energy into creating a life of success and abundance. You know what? I bet you I could guess your chart based on this. You're a Pisces sun. You have to have some earth sign based on this life path number. You have to have a prominent earth sign placement. Is it your rising sign? You could be a Virgo. That's just my thoughts. Wait, these are so interesting. I should look up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Okay. All right, before I get too carried away, I do kind of want to end stream because I am getting a little tired and exhausted of just sitting here. So unfortunately, didn't know if putting in the year would affect it because Google said I was 9. The year is, yeah, I think your life path number is it's just all of the numbers in your birthday added together. So like you're supposed to include the year. So yes. Wait, right? Because it's 5 plus 9, which is 14, plus 3, which is 17. Wait. No, wait, I said 8, right? Yeah, no, it's 8. It's 8. It's not 9, it's 8. I thought I was getting 7. I was like, what? No, it was 8. Yeah, it's 8. Sorry, okay. Anyways, so unfortunately, I will be ending the stream here for tonight just because I'm a little tired, okay? I don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow. We'll just see how I feel. Um, but I won't promise you anything. But I will say, like, I might and I might not. So we'll leave it at that. If I don't stream tomorrow, I'll stream on Thursday, I guess. But yeah. Anyways, like I said, I'm gonna end the stream here. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, for letting me yap about whatever I yapped about today. I don't remember. Um, but thank you for letting me yap about anything and everything. I do hope you guys have a good rest of your night, and I hope you have a good sleep and good rest. Okay, it's the middle of the week tomorrow, so we're getting there. Or I hope you're having a good day right now, or you had a good day today, or that you have a good day tomorrow. And I will see you all in the next stream. All right, bye everyone. Have a good night. Have a good night, and I'll see you all next time.